Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. I make mom and lifestyle videos, so if you enjoy that kind of content, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I'm mom to a toddler Dominic and a baby Elena. I purchased the Elvie Curve manual silicone pump a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to give a review. I did spend my own money on this. I didn't get any kind of compensation or discount. If you're familiar with the Haaka pump, it's the same general idea as that. If you're not familiar with the Haaka, I'll give a brief explanation of how this kind of pump works. It's made out of silicone, and then this one has a plastic structure to it. There's a hole on the back, so you put that over one of your breasts, over the nipple, and then you push the front, you push it in, and that creates a suction. Once you start to collect milk, you may have to push it in a couple times. I usually have to push it back in 2 or 3 times while it's collecting milk, so you can make sure you get the maximum that you can. I was a little bit confused at first because I didn't read the instructions, but there's a valve here. This valve is supposed to be for releasing the suction when you're done pumping, but it doesn't really work for me, so I just kind of pull it off and it doesn't hurt or anything. But I wasn't sure if maybe you're supposed to use this to get the milk out, but you're actually just supposed to pour it through the top here, like this. It does sometimes leave a couple drops, which is a little bit sad, but there's not really much you can do. And then you have to be either breastfeeding or pumping on the other side to collect in here. I consider it kind of like a passive pump, so you don't really have to do anything, but you do need to have a letdown on the other side. So because of that, I typically only use it at night. Elena takes a nap in the evening, and then before bed, she usually wants to nurse a little bit. Usually by the time she's done with one breast, she's falling asleep. So that's the perfect time to use one of these pumps. Pretty much the rest of the day she'll take both sides, so I can't really use it on other parts of the day. I've also used the Nature Bond, which is basically the generic version of the Haaka, but those work in the same way. They have suction and they collect milk when you have a letdown on the other side. The biggest difference with those is the shape. This is what the Nature Bond and the Haaka look like. It basically is like a bottle at the bottom, and it has the suction up at the top, and the Elvie Curve just fits right into your bra. There are definitely a few pros and cons with the Elvie Curve. I'll go over the pros first. The biggest one being it's very convenient and easy to use. It just fits right in your bra, and since you don't have anything hanging down, you don't have to worry about it being kicked off. My biggest worry when I use the Nature Bond is that my baby is going to kick it off. It hasn't actually gotten completely kicked off, but I've definitely had some close calls. And also with the Nature Bond or Haaka, when it starts to fill up, it loses some of its suction power, so it can really easily fall off or be kicked off. Where with this, even if it does lose its suction, it's not going anywhere. I feel like the Haaka and the Nature Bond mostly can only be used when the baby is newborn and isn't kicking and thrashing around so much. Not so much now that my baby's a little bit older. She's almost 3 months old. As far as the suction power, I've read some of the reviews on Amazon, and a lot of people complained that they couldn't get as much milk with this as they could out of the Haaka. But for me, it seems like it's about the same. With both, I'm usually getting about ½ an ounce to an ounce, not a ton. My supply is on the lower side, so I wouldn't expect to get more than an ounce. If you have higher supply, you may very well get more than that. It can hold up to 4 ounces. Some of the cons are that it doesn't stand up very well. There's a flat part on the bottom, but you're supposed to set it down flat like this if you are in between using it to pump and storing the milk, which scares me a little bit. I feel like it could easily dump out, but it just seems like maybe it could have been designed a little bit better in that sense. Another con is that you do have to wear a bra while you're using it. I haven't tried without using a bra, but I feel like if it lost suction, it would just fall off. So I would probably recommend using it with a bra, and there may be times where that is not your preference. And then the last con would be the price. It retails for $50. I have started to see some small sales, but it's still more than twice the price of the Nature Bond. I think the Nature Bond was less than $20. Do I think it's worth the price? Honestly, I'm not sure. We'll see how much milk I end up collecting from it, if it ends up being like an everyday thing, or if I just kind of use it every once in a while. So far, I've been using it most nights. So I would say I think it is worth it for me, just because it's so much more convenient than the Nature Bond. I hadn't used the Nature Bond too much aside from when she was a newborn, and I could put her in a swaddler and she wouldn't bat it off or kick it off. But now that she doesn't go in the swaddler anymore, it's a little bit too scary to risk her knocking it off and spilling all the milk that it's collected. So I definitely would say that I like it better than the Haaka or the Nature Bond. And at this point, I would say that yes, it is worth the money. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up.